Well, not a very good morning to hear what has happened. Now, I never have done personal thoughts on celebrity deaths or stuff like that because most of them I obviously do feel sorry for their loss, but it's just something that I don't really have a massive emotional connection to. I think the only time I've ever had a massive celebrity connection of a shocking death that really kind of hit hard. Obviously, a lot of us really felt that when Robin Williams had passed away back in 2014. And the last time for me that really broke my heart a lot was Gene Wilder in 2016. But this news, hearing it this morning, was just sad. Then, unfortunately, as all of us, for those who probably not familiar with the franchise, Britt Allcroft, the TV series creator of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, who brought the Reverend Wilbert Awdry's stories to life on the small screen, has sadly passed away on December 27th. The news broke overnight, right, or early this morning, from the director of the Thomas fan-made documentary An Unlikely Fandom on X. And I found that out through a story through two of the Thomas YouTubers that I'm subscribed to, most notably the Unlucky Tug, and I believe Waldell Productions. I believe that's the other one. And I even saw Driver 3 Joe, the reaction Thomas YouTuber had also made his thoughts. And I've not have been probably not much in the Thomas contact as usual, because obviously I've been more of the Macy's Parade and awards season and movie stuff content. But Thomas was definitely something that really meant something to me. Of course, as a kid, it was one of the first shows I had ever watched. Thomas and the Magic Railroad was one of the first movies I've ever watched, alongside with Digimon the movie and Toy Story 2. And I still really hold momentum to the original classic stuff. I had all the DVDs and VHSs that I had, which I sadly, obviously, do no longer have in my collection. But I still have a lot of the toys that I still had up in my attic, most notably the original wooden railway line. I have the ones I've collected ever since when I was a kid, and it still really holds a place in my heart. It's just amazing. I had a lot of books that I had, and sadly no longer with us, except for this kind of story collection of the Railway series book a few years back. But then I've been kind of starting to get a little bit into the model train things a bit. I've got, as you can see, some of the unscale Bachman Thomas line here with Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle, Percy, Scruffy, James, Toad, Toby, Henrietta, Gordon. I have a couple of Troublesome Trucks. I don't have Emily yet. I'm getting her on that big set that will be released soon. But what I really kind of felt sad when I really heard the news, obviously, and what Thomas really meant so much to me as a kid, and still kind of does, is how I view a bit of the world of it. Ironically enough, I actually kind of did, a few years ago, there was this online survey of which character that Thomas character you belong with, and sure enough, the result was the number one engine. It's almost like Thomas is almost kind of who I am almost as a person, but not in the ways how it is during the and CGI era, or what is going on with All Engines Go, but almost where he was during classic series Thomas, seasons 1 through 7 of it, and most of the Railway series era, even though I've not read all of the Railway series books. But going through Thomas's journey throughout my childhood times of just collecting these toys and getting all the DVDs and VHS and watching all the episodes, even though I think I've not watched every single episode during the Hit era or the Nitrogen era or some of the CGI eras or stuff like that, but just getting to watch episodes and even getting up early in the morning and watch PBS Kids. I didn't grow up watching Shining Time Station because, of course, I was born in the year 2000, so I didn't really have much of an impact, but Thomas and the Magic Railroad was definitely something that really holds an impact. Um, and I'm very happy that this movie got a Blu-ray release. And it is very unfortunate to hear this news, like after she just turned 81, and with this year marking the 80th anniversary of the entire Thomas franchise, with dating back to the first Railway series book, and then last year was the 40th anniversary of the TV series. And I know the entire community is really shocked, but for somebody who doesn't prioritize Thomas as a content here in this channel, I really wanted to spread my condolences to all the family members of Britt Allcroft. And I know all the fans across, not just obviously in Thomas's original home in the UK, but also here in the United States, through Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and a lot of parts throughout Europe or Africa or South America, but like mainly, especially in the UK where Thomas started and obviously where Britt was from. And now she gets to see once again Wilbert Awdry. She will get to see now again David Midden and Michael Angelis and George Carlin and some cast members of Shining Time Station or Thomas and the Magic Railroad have sadly passed, like Peter Fonda here. And I know many people like Christopher Awdry, Ringo Starr, Alec Baldwin, Mara Wilson, Dee Dee Khan, and I think Michael Donnell and Junior Campbell, and like all those remaining people that are still living with us here in the community are definitely mourning the loss of hearing this news that broke earlier this morning. So, Britt, I just want to say thank you for bringing us the #1 engine here to the United States through Shining Time Station, but specifically thank you for bringing Wilbert Awdry's stories into the small screen, because if it wasn't for you, us in the US would not know who Thomas was. May you rest in peace.